welcome to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. Well, Rahul Gandhi has finally accepted the post of the leader of opposition. This was offered to the Congress because, again, finally they had the numbers for this post. It's a cabinet rank post. With it comes not just political responsibility, but some administrative and governance responsibility also. For instance, the leader of opposition is part of the 3-member committee that decides on the new CBI chief, the Human Rights Commission chief, the enforcement director, etc. And there are other issues in terms of coordination of the House, coordination of the allies. Most importantly, the leader of the opposition is suo moto the next prime ministerial candidate for the next elections also. So by one move, Rahul Gandhi has signaled a whole lot. Discussing the impact of this and also how the House is going to be looking under Rahul Gandhi's leadership, how the opposition strategy is going to be functioning, is something I'm going to be discussing on the panel today. Joining me is Rasheed Kidwai. He's the author of 24 Akbar Road, political columnist and historian. I have Abhijit Iyer-Mitra, political commentator and columnist, and someone very prolific on Twitter. And Tehseen Poonawalla, Congress sympathizer. He's a senior lawyer also and a very avid commentator. Rasheed, you, in fact, I must congratulate you. You've been also writing and, you predicted Rahul will probably accept this post, and you've also been arguing why. So if you can, tell our viewers as to why you felt this is a good move and what were the behind the scenes maneuverings that got Rahul Gandhi to say yes?
I think Rahul Gandhi joined politics in 2004. He became member of parliament. And since then, he had been biding time, and finally it arrived with a lot of, struggle, and on Rahul's part, a lot of resilience was shown. Rahul Gandhi has a simple motto in life: first deserve, then desire. So he didn't jump, when Dr. Manmohan Singh offered not once, but thrice to join the Union Council of Ministers between 2004 to 2014. He didn't do it because I think he's very deeply influenced by his father, Rajiv Gandhi's life. He felt that Rajiv Gandhi was, joined politics in a very difficult and tragic circumstances, but he could not do, justice to the, the demands of that office that it entailed. And there were a lot of, so to say, follies, but those follies were not Rajiv Gandhi's doing, because of the bureaucracy and the political system was responsible for it. All these things, now that he has got a formal position as a leader of opposition, he would become visible and he would cause a lot of discomfort to the prime minister. Earlier in the previous Lok Sabha, in that 17th Lok Sabha or 16th Lok Sabha, it was the other way around. It was Mr. Modi who was calling shots. And this time, every time Mr. Modi meets Rahul Gandhi, all cameras are on Rahul Gandhi, on him, that how they behave, whether they smile, they shake hand or not. And this is going to, become a norm. Every session, every, opportunity is going to be, the media is going to capture it. So it will be Mr. Modi who needs to be a lot more, sort of civil, accommodating, and have functional ties. And Rahul Gandhi would benefit from, getting this kind of importance from Narendra Modi and the entire union cabinet.
So, Abhijit, Rahul Gandhi's got a status upgrade, in terms of, as Rasheed says, the other side will also have to take him, because of his post, more seriously. So how do you see that playing out in terms of Rahul's own politics?
I think I'd describe it the way I've always described Rahul: thoroughly confused.
Even now.
And I'll tell you why. This is a gentleman who used to play the outsider in the system, even when his own mother was running the entire system through her quasi-cabinet, the NAC, right? And I mean, we still remember that famous legislation fadna on TV, right? So when Mummy ka sarkar hai, and you're playing the rebel, the young, angry, young rebel man, I don't expect anything great from him being the leader of the opposition. This is not a status upgrade. This is a man-child who's been given responsibilities, and this is going to be his case of rising to the Peter principle. That said, let's be clear about one thing. I am very grateful that he has taken on responsibility for the first time in his life. He has never had responsibility. He could have lost 100 elections before this. They would have all in the Congress rallied around him and said, Rahul Baba, please lead us. If anytime Rahul wanted to become president, he would be made president. Anytime he didn't want to be president, he would not be made president. So I'm glad that he's accepted some responsibility. That said, let's be clear about one thing. The leader of the parliamentary party and the leader of the opposition were very important in days of radio, when people used to actually listen to the substance of what is being said and not the theatrics of it. You
Hmm.
tell me one leader of the opposition. We've had several leaders of the opposition who have never become prime minister, who are completely lacking any kind of charisma. I'm sure Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge is a very interesting, charismatic politician, or Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary maybe. But you really tell me, how many people have any face recognition of Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge or Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary? So it's not a position that's getting you anywhere. But if it's for the first time imposed a certain accountability through responsibility on him, I thank God for that. I'm an atheist, but I still thank God for it. But yeah.
Yes, as usual, that's quite a comment. Tehseen, even today, Abhijit and people are calling Rahul a man-child. So when will he finally get his image correction? One thought with Bharat Jodo and finally accepting responsibility, a cabinet post. This is also his first governance post. When he said no to Manmohan Singh, he said yes to now. So a lot has happened. He's come a long way. Has he? I mean, when will people start taking him seriously?
So look, miracles do happen.
Hmm.
Like Abhijit, I am also an atheist. And if Abhijit is thanking God, then miracles do happen. So if miracles do happen, then there'll be another miracle. The Rahul Gandhi as LoP will perform extremely well on the floor of the House. But let's look at where I disagree with Abhijit. He's true about, say, a Khargeji or, say, even an Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, who, by the way, was not an LoP, or several other LoPs. But then we've also had LoPs like Sushma Swaraj ji, Arun Jaitley ji. They've created impact on the floor of the House. Atal ji, even Dr. Manmohan Singh ji, as leader of the House of the Congress in the Rajya Sabha, they create a lot of impact, brought in gravitas. So yes, it's the position. You have an opportunity to speak. The speaker will have to hear you. The speaker will not be able to move the camera off you. Now, what you make of the opportunity is in Rahul Gandhi's hand. He's got an opportunity. That's point number one. Can he, with gravitas, raise issues of our nation that really are the core issues of our country, be it employment, be it NEET, be it Agniveer in the current context, or other issues that may come up today? We've got the Terminal 1 collapsing. Can he raise them with substance, with gravitas, or, as Abhijit said, squander away in theatrics, be the opposition or the government? Despite having a brute majority in the last two governments, that 17th and 16th Lok Sabha, the government was keen to see Parliament does not function. The government. Now that will be difficult because the opposition, not along Rahul Gandhi, but along with Rahul Gandhi, Akhilesh Yadav, Abhishek Banerjee, will want discussions on the floor of the House. They will want the Prime Minister to answer, not do man ki baat, but answer questions. It'll be very difficult for the Prime Minister to just do a man ki baat and walk away. So if the Prime Minister is making a topic and the leader of opposition gets up and asks a specific question, the Prime Minister will be duty bound to answer it. If he refuses to answer it, it'll look bad on the Prime Minister, as you rightly said. Cameras will be capturing it. So it all is now fluid. It could go either ways. It depends on how Rahul Gandhi ji takes this on. But yes, he's now got the responsibility, but with great responsibility and great powers also comes delivery. His idea must be to deliver to the common man and deliver to the Congress.
So how will he deliver? Because now, Rasheed, one thing, I'm not as critical of Rahul as perhaps Abhijit, but I am a little skeptical of the fact that, he's never been a team player. He arbitrarily he'll go and announce some scheme, or he'll take on some tangent, Rafael, Chokidar Chora. He doesn't, the party is, we've seen spokesmen are left wondering how to brief the media after Rahul Gandhi has made some statement. Now he can't do all that. So will that also, it's a good move if he will play by the script, but will he?
So I think, Priya, there are individuals and individuals have some personality trait, but there are some of them are very kind of, that image building exercise by themselves, by their opponents. And in Rahul Gandhi's case, this holds true both ways. So there is a whole thing about we tend to, underestimate or estimate or exaggerate Rahul Gandhi's some of these personality traits as articulated by Abhijit and several others who are his, sort of supporters. I think Rahul Gandhi has a very good understanding of politics. He's a team builder. Instinctively. Look at his handling of Mallikarjun Kharge. Look at his tenure as 87th president of the AICC, where the Congress did very well in Gujarat, did very well in Karnataka and several other states. And now coming back to specifics, day one, speaker's election, I think the opposition was very smart by not pressing for division. If they press for division in terms of numbers, who has got what, the opposition would have got exposed. And I think the BJP got a little rattled, and Lalan Singh got up and said, where is the division? And then the pro tem speaker said it's over. I mean, that phase is over. So it was a victory of sorts. Look at his handling of Mamta Banerjee. The Congress sent, P. Chidambaram to meet Mamta Banerjee. And Mamta Banerjee, as you know, she's a sort of temperamental politician, a bit whimsical, grandstanding. All those things apply to Mamta Banerjee, not so much for Rahul Gandhi. So he's handled her, well, in the sense that he got her consent every time there was any matter relating to float strategy. He would tell, Kalyan Banerjee to speak to get Mamta ji on board. So this is a thing. Supriya Sule is on his side. Akhilesh is sitting next to him, and he and Akhilesh have a great chemistry. I think we see in Uttar Pradesh some kind of, Tamil Nadu model would be in play in Uttar Pradesh, where Akhilesh will have his way and say in the assembly elections and the parliament election. Perhaps, Congress would get more and more seats. So Rahul Gandhi knows what he's doing. And I think, these are baby steps, initial steps, but you will see, a kind of accomplished politician in Rahul Gandhi and an able parliamentarian. You see, I always see, and Priya, I always say that Rahul should follow his dada, not dadi. Dadi Indira Gandhi was a very illustrious, a very accomplished politician, but she was a bit of a maverick when it came to parliamentary practices and all. His dada was a rebel with a cause. Feroz Gandhi's, anybody, even his opponents agree that he was the finest parliamentarian, one of the finest parliamentarian India has produced. So I think if Rahul Gandhi fashions himself in the model of Feroz Gandhi, he would do a lot good to himself.
Which is true, at least he has if he just focuses on legislation, raises serious issues, then Abhijit, it could be, as the makeover started with the Bharat Jodo, but that was on the streets, politics of protest. But now he can do politics of legislation. Why not? He's got enough advisors around him.
Sure, but history goes against this. He's never been able to articulate anything seriously. He's a sort of caption leader. Be it Chaukidar Chor hai ya Mohabbat ki Dukaan. He's very
But
good.
that Sood Boot ki sarkar got the government to roll back that farmers.
Exactly, but it was a caption, right?
Yeah.
And remember, it was the only thing that we managed to do a gotcha with the government, right? After that chore didn't work. So first time successful, second time failure, third time failure. Well, you can argue that this
Samvidhan move.
I guess Mohabbat ki Dukaan didn't work, but Samvidhan Badlenge definitely worked, right? Let's also not forget there's still the National Herald case hanging over him. So, that's kind of the Damocles sword in this entire thing. Let's see. I suspect the more effective he is, the more the National Herald case will reach its logical conclusion.
But, Tehseen, come in.
I would love if the National Herald case, they go after him with the National Herald case. For one, there is nothing there, but more importantly, look at the politics that will play out. The more Rahul Gandhi ji is successful, the more the government goes after him with a National Herald case. And it's going to completely work in his favor. I don't think the BJP has realized that there has been a change in Indian politics to an extent where people are now questioning Mr. Modi. That unquestionable faith on Mr. Modi is completely gone. Even many BJP supporters, for example, in the state of Maharashtra, rejoicing the BJP being taught a lesson. Many core BJP supporters are saying this is good for democracy. The BJP had got arrogant. I think the BJP has not realized that so far. So if Mr. Modi continues to be the man who pushes his agenda through, is not ready to talk to the opposition, he will face not just a Rahul Gandhi, but a Rahul Gandhi, Akhilesh Yadav, a young combination that will look at checkmating him, like in the speaker election. I think the BJP was rattled. They didn't know what hit them. Of course, they got their media to say, oh, there was no floor strategy. The opposition didn't do it. But ultimately, we all know that the BJP was rattled. They didn't expect this to happen. So now something has changed. And what is that something changed? The Congress and the opposition are calling the shots. And for the first time, the BJP is reacting to everything. Like Lalan Singh got up, started screaming, why not division of vote? So it's now become a shift where an agenda is being set. Can the BJP turn it around? Of course, the BJP can turn it around. They're masters at turning it around. Yesterday, for example, I thought the Bengal controversy was not needed. You didn't have to bring up the Bengal issue yesterday because that's what the media picked up. So I think you'll have to have these strategies: media strategy, floor strategy, and public strategy, what you do on the ground. But Rahul Gandhi proved he could do it consistently with Bharat Jodo Yatra. He's now the LoP, too soon to say, but his first 2-3 days have been sort of impactful. And then you'll have the media strategy. One last thing. I think it will be very interesting for bureaucrats now. particularly those on constitutional positions, an ED director, a CBI director. What happens when the LOP calls you to brief him? Are you not going to turn up? What happens when the LOP calls the ED director and says, whatever you're going after us, that's fine. Here is Himanta Biswa Sharma. Here is Ajit Pawar. Why did you lose Shivan Bhujbal's file? How can ED? I want to know how you lost the file. Is now the ED director going to turn around and tell the LOP, I will not give you the details of it? Look at how that will play out. But Rahul Gandhi will have to do that. He'll have to now summon them, talk to them. A summon may be a harsh word. He'll have to ask them to brief him. And let's see if they don't brief him, because these are Modi appointees. These are not Amit Shah ji appointees. These are not Nadda ji appointees. These are Modi appointees. They've come from the PMO. Are they not going to brief the LOP? How does that play out? So he'll have to play these moves. We'll have to see how the BJP reacts, how the PMO reacts, and how the RSS react. The RSS is a very interesting factor here.
Very interesting. And we're going to take a look at how this is going to play out in Parliament and the power play post elections, both in the BJP camp and in the Congress camp. But after a quick break. Hello and welcome back to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. Well, Rasheed, Rahul Gandhi has become the LOP, but now what is the team Rahul that is going into play? That, we see Gaurav Gogoi is with him, KC Venugopal, two people, but is he going to make use of Shashi Tharoor, Manish Tiwari? There are a whole lot of people who have been sidelined by team Rahul, but now as LOP, will he finally take them along or will he just stick to his own camp politics? But I said earlier, team player nahi hai Rahul.
Well, I said he's a team player, but I think, Priya, what you're asking is a very interesting question, and the time to come, we'll get at it. Rahul Gandhi has to take a call whether he's going to be the Congress opposition leader or he's going to represent, the India Alliance. And that India Alliance thing is a little tricky, far more tricky business. So he would need, players and managers beyond, Jairam Ramesh and KC Venugopal. So there is a lot of pool of talent that, the Congress has. For instance, there is a person who has won from Tamil Nadu. His name is Sashikant Senthil. There is, Praniti Shinde, all kind of, the young blood. Of course, Gaurav is there. So he would need to, bring them, kind of forward and give them positions of responsibility so they can do. And there is a very exciting concept of a shadow cabinet. And the shadow cabinet cannot be the Congress cabinet. And that is where a shadow cabinet is nothing. Actually, it is MPs having their areas of interest and given. But if Rahul Gandhi, goes through a list of, India Alliance MPs and, picks, say, 72 of them, 72 ministers Mr. Modi has, so, and gives them sort of department-wise kind of thing, it is going to create, of course, my friend Abhijit may mock him for that, but it will, send a very good kind of, positive vibration. There will be a lot of media buzz. So he needs to do these kind of things where, say Akhilesh has a, looking after a portfolio that Mr. Amit Shah is managing and, giving railways to somebody, and all is going to create, and of course, Shashi Tharoor as this thing, obvious choice for foreign affairs and all, and infrastructure. There are a lot of pool of talent, as I said, in the opposition, camp. So therefore, he needs to be very, judicious in what he does, rather than just leaning on Jairam Ramesh and KCV. So if he's able to get out of that kind of that coterie charge that you're leveling, I think Rahul Gandhi would be better off not only as a politician, parliamentarian, but as a very effective leader of opposition. See, the time is there. There is a Haryana election is there, Maharashtra election. Every election would change, the complexion of politics, if not, what happens inside Lok Sabha.
So, Abhijit, your take on the shadow cabinet and also what Tehseen said about, the BJP camp. Do you see, we've seen Modi's had his way with the speaker, he's had his way with the cabinet, but the BJP president still has to be chosen. And RSS may be more interested in what happens in the organization than what happens in the government. Abhijit.
Look, this time I really don't know what happened with the RSS and JP Nadda's lovely comments.
Yes, I know, which he hasn't clarified.
Which he still has not clarified. And he's been promoted, mind you. He's been promoted. He's not just been made a minister again. He's also been given the responsibility of heading the parliamentary party in the Rajya Sabha. So this is, to me, this is looking like two things. Talking to people like Jyotiraditya Scindia, Milind Deora, Javi Shergill, things that they've said in public. Rahul is a man who doesn't listen, but then we also clearly have a case now of an emergent Modi who doesn't listen. So is it a case of two people who just don't listen to advice that's given And like Mohandas Karamchand, they follow their own inner voice for better or worse, I don't know. I think Maharashtra will be the crucible. We will find out if Rahul has been able to maintain momentum, or if Modi has been able to learn lessons from this and is able to at least mitigate damage, if not control what, if you extrapolate the central election results there, are going to be an unmitigated disaster for the BJP out there, right? Maharashtra will actually tell you the results to this. You know, it's I personally feel that Rahul Gandhi and Yogendra Yadav are kindred spirits. They're like those broken clocks that are always right twice a day. So we'll see, because Maharashtra will tell. This is an election everybody is going to be focused on. It is the big prize. And if the BJP persists with all its, what led it down this path, it's going to lose Maharashtra very badly. So देखते हैं क्या होता है. Maybe Rasheed Saab is right, I am wrong. Maybe I'm right, he's wrong. Maharashtra से दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी हो जाएगा.
That's true. I think Maharashtra will be a good test, and you're sitting right there, Tehseen. But first, your take on what everybody has said.
No, I do agree to an extent with what Abhijit said. A lot of journalists do claim to know a lot of insider stuff about the Congress, but that's not always true. The fact is that Rahul Gandhi will and has chosen to carve his own path, but it's been a path not fraught with danger. It's been a path where he has tried to take people along, and those who haven't fallen into a set ideology have fallen out on their own. So let me just clarify what I mean by that. I have immense respect for Rahul Gandhi. A lot of times he could have easily compromised or taken the middle path. He stood his guns, stood by the topics he believed in, even when the senior leadership of the Congress said, "Aise mat karo, waise mat karo." What has happened now is the Congress has a very clear identity, an identity of what it stands for, which, if you remember, Priya, 2 years ago, we were discussing what does the Congress stand for. He's carved that part out. He isn't middle of the road. He said, okay, this is what the Congress stands for. Now you can agree, disagree with the Congress. That's fine. But there is a part, and it's dramatically opposite from the BJP. The BJP, on the other hand, again, I agree with Abhijit, with Prime Minister Modi looking more and more slightly confused and authoritarian, does not know what it's standing for. So the BJP now is trying to please everyone, ending up pleasing nobody, trying to do mathematical combinations, losing the chemistry, like in Maharashtra. The combination of Eknath Shinde, Ajit Pawar, and BJP should help them win, but they ended up losing because the math was right, the chemistry was wrong. So there is one perceptual difference here in the two issues. Number two, Rahul Gandhi's performance as LoP should not be for Congress, should be for the larger opposition. So it will now show his magnanimity to meet various opposition and floor leaders, talk to them, take their inputs, and stand up for them. So if there is somebody who goes against, say, Supriya Sule, the speaker, or there is injustice happening to somebody in a smaller party, he will have to stand up and fight for them. Remember one more thing. The JDU is one election is a few weeks away from coming back at any given point of time. Nitish can Nitish you. If Nitish sees Bihar is going this way, Nitish will come back. So Rahul Gandhi will also have to play that role, be it with Chandrababu Naidu, with Nitish. I'm not saying they're going to come tomorrow. Let's be very clear. But there will be bridge building. On the contrary, very clear. What Modi will do, he'll try and get Uddhav Thackeray this time. You will have to make sure Uddhav Thackeray doesn't go. So you'll have to play these combinations, permutations, while raising the larger opposition issue with gravitas while raising people's issue. One last thing. Don't waste your time on silly issues. Is the lion smiling or growling? Is the prime minister in a dressing room? Is the Bengal in parliament? These are not the issues of the country. The issues of the country have shown that the prime minister is vulnerable. Go after those issues. That's held the Congress and the opposition good said. The more you focus on it, the difficult it becomes for the BJP to defend. What would the BJP rather defend? Bengal in parliament or a NEET scam? The choice is between us. I mean, the choice is very clear.
Right, so very clear. And Rahul Gandhi, also the kind of issues Rasheed he raises are going to be interesting, because he's got his pet issues. But I think now as leader of opposition, he'll, as you said, take everybody along, pick up better issues. What are the issues you think which will stand him in good stead if he raises?
So, Priya, I think it's a very important thing that you are raising. Rahul Gandhi as a parliamentarian needs to be a lot more focused. When I say focus, it's not just a matter of time or the kind of issues he's picking, but whatever he says or does, it should be very thorough. It should be foolproof. there should be a lot of factual accuracy. Whatever charges he's leveling inside Parliament, this is a very serious offense so to say, people's court. So whatever you say, it has to be authenticated, it has to be solid, it has to be backed by, references and all those things. So that takes a lot of time. Many of the able parliamentarians, and me and you have known, had this kind of, that heft, that intellectual heft. So,
Yeah.
he needs to have a committee, so to say, the LoP's office or something like that, and have, people, and of course, some of the young researchers, etc. There is a lot of people, very talented people are there, who kind of, give him all critical inputs. So it requires a lot of preparation and application. And these are the things that, I wish, in 6 months' time, Mr., if he's able to, convince Abhijit Iyer-Mitra that, that revise his opinion about Rahul Gandhi, I think it would be an achievement for Rahul Gandhi.
Okay, quickly, Abhijit, who are the speakers that you're going to be looking at in Parliament, for a good debate? This Priyanka Gandhi going to be joining, and she's going to add some fun to Parliament in terms of being an articulate voice.
Honestly, Priya, ever since Lalu Prasad Yadav ji and Sushma Swaraj ji, I haven't seen a good speech in Parliament. I'm sorry to say this. I think Smriti Irani gave a fantastic speech in Parliament in the very first in UPA 1. But then I don't know. She's not given parliamentary speeches. Maybe I think it was the gentleman from Ladakh, the BJP MP from Ladakh.
Ex-MP.
Yeah.
Ex-MP.
Then MP.
But other than that, I don't think, fine parliamentarianship, consistent performance I have seen in a very, very long time. And the problem here is, nobody could have accused Sonia Gandhi or his father, Rajiv Gandhi, of a lack of gravitas. When they spoke, you listened. Sonia wouldn't speak much. She would speak very little. But when she spoke, you listened. Very refined, elegant lady. When she says something, she commands that attention. Many people used to say Rajiv was naive. He was a very kind human being, right? But people used to make fun of him as well. Humko banana hai, ye banana hai, wo banana hai. So they said,
Jeetenge ya losenge.
Banana Republic and things like that. Hum unko nani yaad dila denge. But he was a very endearing person to listen to. And he commanded attention. Unfortunately, that gravitas that one associates with his grandmother, his father, his mother, there is simply no association of gravitas with him, despite the BJP's best efforts to convert him from Pappu in the 2014 and 2019 election into, say, Darth Vader or Mogambo, if you want a Desi equivalent to it in this particular election. My issue is, I really hope he does what Rasheed ji said. My worry is he won't, because everyone you talk to in the Congress and outside the Congress says he does not listen.
Well, that is something I heard also. Tehseen, your last word. Who are the people, if you want to come on what Abhijit said?
So first, let me disagree with Abhijit slightly out here. I think Rahul does listen. He does listen. Whether he implements it or no is another thing, but he does listen, and he listens very, very patiently. Recently, there are a lot of conversations I've had. Extremely patient, extremely in-depth, extremely nuanced, extremely grey conversations. And I was amazed at the depth. Let me put this on record, amazed at the depth.
But no, so everybody doesn't have your access or your...
That's fine. But the fact that he doesn't listen is not true. I think he does. And I think I've heard this recently from a lot of people. Let's now come to who the speakers are. Obviously, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, I'm looking forward to her speaking. Also because her Hindi is immaculate. She's so phenomenal. And as I said on your show, when she attacks the Prime Minister finds it very difficult to attack her back because she attacks him with substance without making it personal. So I think Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, Shashi Tharoor for sure, Manish Tiwari for sure. One speech I'd like to add in great speeches in recent times, and Abhijit, you should look this up, is Omar Abdullah's speech on the nuclear deal. One of the best speeches I've heard, and Laluji's speech also on the nuclear deal, where Laluji says...
But he's talking about the last 10 years, na?
Yeah, last 10 years, but I'm just talking about slightly prior to that, 2008. Omar Abdullah's speech, well, Lalu was not there last 10 years. So I'm talking about when he said Laluji.
Okay.
So Omar Abdullah's speech, one of the best speeches.
Excellent one, yeah.
Oh yeah, what a speech that Omar Abdullah gave. But coming back to finally, I think this is an opportunity for our nation, and that's how Rahul Gandhi must look at it, to now have a genuine democratic setup over than an authoritarian setup. And Rahul Gandhi ji owes this responsibility to the 1.5 billion Indians who have reopposed their faith in the constitution and in the democracy.
Yeah.
It's not just simply saying constitution khatre mein. That's one part. It's taken you this far. It is how you walk on the part of the constitution and use constitutional mechanisms to corner the government that will increase his stature and gravitas and get Abhijit impressed. If he's already chanting God, 6 months from now, Abhijit will be chanting Rahul Gandhi.
Well, the takeaway from this is how to get Abhijit impressed. So hopefully we'll come back in 2 months' time and check Abhijit's tolerance meter. But on that note, thank you all. As I think Abhijit said, that it is really Modi doesn't listen, Rahul doesn't listen. I disagree with Rasheed on the team player bit, but let's see, maybe they both will become team players. Mandate has a way of ensuring the impossible. But we're going to keep an eye on that. Thank you so much for watching this show.
Thank you.